There's a lot of information out there on how to jump higher. A lot of plyometric videos, strength workout videos that will give you methods and workouts on how to increase your vertical. That is going to be pretty hard to not increase your vertical with all this free knowledge out there. But I don't think the reality of training for an elite vertical is talked about enough. Of what it's like to undergo a journey from having an average vertical to an elite vertical. In my case, going from a 25-inch vertical to a 40-plus-inch vertical. So I'm going to tell you guys what to expect on this journey if you're truly serious about increasing your vertical and becoming the best possible athlete you can be. First of all, it's going to take a long ass time, especially if your goal, like myself, is to get a really elite vertical jump. For me personally, I didn't really understand what I was doing until 2 years into my vertical jump journey, and even then I didn't really fully understand it. It's going to take a lot of time to figure out what your body is capable of. It's also going to take some time to develop your muscles and your tendons to the level of an elite jumper. The more time you spend training, the more aware you're going to be of your strengths and weaknesses, what type of training you're going to need to prioritize. And also, more time training means you'll eventually understand why you're training a certain way and what kind of adaptations each training cycle is going to do for you. On top of that, with the law of diminishing returns, it's going to be harder and take even longer for you to see progress once you reach the elite level. Like, I probably saw a 2 to 3 inch increase in my vertical from the past year, when in the first 6 months of my vertical jump training, I saw about 6 inches. Pause. Another reality to accept is that you'll probably need a vertical jump coach. If you really want to speed these things up and you want to make the process faster of learning about your body, learning about training, then you're going to need a coach. Even the most knowledgeable and the most elite athletes need coaches and trainers too. Isaiah Rivera has a 50-inch vertical, the highest jumper in the world, and he still needs a coach and is coached by John Evans. Dom Dunks has a 45+ inch vertical, and Tony Crosby has about a 50-inch vertical, and those guys are trained by Isaiah Rivera and John Evans. You can learn all of these things so much faster by getting a good coach, so make sure you choose your coach wisely. And luckily for you guys, I opened up some space in my Get Up Vertical Jump coaching. So if you're an athlete trying to take your vertical to that next level, fill out that form in my description, and I'll reach out to you if you're a good fit. Only apply if you're a serious athlete willing to put in the work and time. Don't sign up if you're not serious. But yeah, I'm really serious about finding a good coach. I'm not even just trying to promote myself. Even if you don't choose me to be your coach, look for a coach out there that you trust and is knowledgeable to teach you as much as you can, because that's crucial. The next thing you should know is that you're probably going to get injured eventually. The longer you train, the more intense your training will be, and the higher likelihood that an injury will occur. There's a very fine line between adaptation and injury. If you reach this line, then that's an injury. If you reach this line, that's adaptation. So you want to be treading within this little area to promote adaptation. That's very small room for error, right? That's the reality of it. If you're actually pushing yourself to your limits during your training sessions, then injury risk is higher. But you want to train smart so you're not reaching the point of overload. Last year, I wasn't training smart, and boom, I was out for 7 months because of knee pain. But all of the elite guys out there have been injured because they were genuinely pushing themselves all the time. And that's how they got to that elite point. So you got to make sure that you're not only training smart, but you're also recovering properly. And there are so many ways to recover, such as getting enough sleep every night, which is hands down the best way to recover properly. That and having enough rest days throughout the week, and deloading when you need to deload. Something you need to consider throughout your workout routine is keeping your light intensity days really light and your high intensity days really high. Another reality to keep in mind is that you can't reach your full vertical jump potential if you're competing in season. Jumping and dunking is a sport in and of itself and is ridiculously draining on the body. In my opinion, athletes like LeBron James and John Morant would have a higher peak vertical jump if they solely focused on jump training, and I will die on that hill. And when I say that, I'm saying that they're not doing any basketball training, they're not putting any energy into basketball, they're putting everything into jump training and getting the highest possible vertical they can get. Since only jumping and only dunking is such a niche activity, there are subgenres in sports like basketball and volleyball. Not a lot of athletes want to adhere to only jump training principles, and that's totally fine. You know, people want to jump higher so they can perform better in their sport. They want to jump higher so they can get that extra rebound, or so they can finish better on the layup. But there's a community out there that are only interested in the act of jumping and dunking. I'm not saying that you can't increase your vertical and get better in your sport at the same time, because you definitely can. I'm just saying that you only have so much time and energy. So you can put all of your time and energy into jump training and jumping higher, or all of your time and energy on getting better in your sport. You can also divide your time and energy so that you're working on both of them, but you're not going to be able to reach to certain heights when compared to putting all of your time and energy into one of those categories. And lastly, you will see a lot of athletes doing better than you no matter how hard you're working. Some athletes will progress faster than you because their genetics allow for a greater potential for growth. There could be a situation where you took 2 years of training to get your first dunk, while there are 15 and 16-year-olds windmilling without any type of training. Or maybe these other athletes are simply just outworking you. Either way, you just gotta accept that there's gonna be athletes doing better than you no matter what, and that's fine. That's life. You have to learn not to compare yourself to others, because doing that is just gonna lead to insecurity and doubt. I'm not gonna lie, I fell into that trap. I started comparing myself to others my height that are doing windmills and East Bays, but at the end of the day, I increased my vertical by 15 plus inches since the beginning, and I'm proud of that, and that's a crazy feat. So don't get caught up on how these people are doing. Focus on your own journey. As long as you're making progress and you're getting better, that's all that matters. So yeah, those are some of the realities of training for an elite vertical jump. Accept that it's gonna take a while, that a good coach is necessary, that you will probably get injured, that you can't jump your absolute highest if you're competing in season, and that there's gonna be tons of athletes out there that are gonna be better than you. These things aren't talked about enough because it's not a specific workout to help you jump higher, but my goal is to educate as many people out there on how jump training works so that they can do it on their own. And you know, I don't wanna be giving workouts all the time. I don't wanna be fishing for you. I wanna teach you how to fish, teach you how to increase your own vertical. But yeah, these things are important to know so that you're mentally prepared to go through this path of your athletic career. So if you watch this video, you understood all of the things that I just said, and you're still willing to go through the path of getting an elite vertical jump, and fill out the form in my description and apply for my own coaching. I'll definitely get you to that level. But yeah, that's all. Later.